All right, I just finished up a 6-hour stream of playing Hit Monkey, and I love this card. I think this is the best Battle Pass card we've had since Zabu. And I think he is extremely viable at many collection levels. We're going to have an assortment of decks that we're going to go over that I like very much, and including a deck that is just pull 2 cards. You can build a zoo deck with this card, and it works very, very, very well. The main thing I do not like about Hit Monkey is that his gun often obscures his cost, which a lot of times you want to track when using Beast. You know, it's hard to tell if it's been dropped down to 1 or if it's costing 2 or if it's been hit by Iceman. I definitely will be doing the variant just so I can see what he costs. We're also going to talk at length about Mysterio. Mysterio is a pool 3 card and has incredibly amazing synergy with Hit Monkey, basically giving 6 extra power. Mysterio is a strange card. It's basically like playing 3 cards simultaneously, and then one of them is the real Mysterio at the end of the game. But so imagine it's like you're playing 3 cards. So like if Scarlet Sanctum is on the board, it will not go into there. It'll only go into the other 2 locations. So that's also Kitty Pryde is still not working. I very, 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 very much want to play Kitty Pryde with Hit Monkey. Okay, let's get into the top 5 decks. I think I have 6 decks or 7 decks, but we're going to talk about them. We're also going to have a counter deck, and we're going to also have like a pool 2 deck. This one right here is basically Sarah Control, where simply instead of running armor, it's running Hit Monkey. So this plays out just like normally. If you have a Sarah Control deck, you can slot in Hit Monkey super easy. A lot of the other Sarah Control decks also run cards like Polaris or Maximus. But this deck right here has the standard package, which is Nova, Shang-Chi, Enchantress, and Scarlet Witch. This is great. It was very straightforward. I played this deck for about an hour, and it was completely fine. It was hard to get good matchups with this, and the main thing about this deck when I was playing it is that, you know, you play Sarah on turn 5, you snap, and hopefully you still have the gotcha cards, you know, which is like Scarlet Witch, Shang-Chi, Killmonger, Enchantress, Nova, and then you can just throw in Hit Monkey also right there, and then Sarah has lowered the cost. A lot of 2 drops, so this they're often costing 1 with Sarah, which is amazing for Hit Monkey. Now, the other deck that gets a lot of play, and I played this deck for about an hour, and it has Bast. Now, there's some incredible synergy with Bast and Mysterio. And I wanted to say that there's 3 cards that work very well with Mysterio. So Mysterio is, as you play this, play illusions to other location, disguise this an illusion to the end game ends. So when you play Mysterio, it actually gives 3 power to Bishop. When you Bast into Mysterio, now it becomes 3 cost cards. So the total power on Mysterio with Bast is now 9 power for 2 mana. It basically puts 3 Mysterios, 1 in each lane, at 3 power. The synergy with Bast and Mysterio and Hit Monkey and Bishop is insane. Those 4 cards are amazing together, and that could be just the Hit Monkey package, you know, running Bast with Hit Monkey and Mysterio and Bishop. You have to try it out. It is quite amazing. So Mysterio basically gives 6 power to Hit Monkey. Mysterio basically gives 3 power to Bishop. And then Bast gives basically 5 extra power to Mysterio because it goes from a 0-4-0 to a 3-3-3. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This deck also plays very similar to that of a Sarah deck. Now, the other deck, this one probably is the best deck that I played. And I only played this for about an hour, and I climbed very easily with it. I did like the more pure bounce deck than this one right here. I really didn't like that this deck did not have Bast. And in fact, if I play this deck again, I probably will remove Sunspot and put in Bast. Because then I'll have the 4 cards, you know, Bast, Mysterio, Bishop, and Hit Monkey. What I did like about this is that it runs Zabu, and Sarah. And so there's all kinds of cool shenanigans that you can run with Darkhawk and Rock Slide. We're going to talk about Rock Slide and Darkhawk, and specifically the Pool 4 cards, and they're dropping towards the end of the video because some of them are going to be dropping earlier than others. Now, this is the deck that I liked the most. This deck right here might actually be a better deck list, but this one here is the one that I enjoyed playing the most because I really had to think, and this is definitely a beast deck. Now, there's two versions of this deck. This one right here that runs America Chavez, and then there's another one that runs Falcon. They both are fine. To each their own. They're both great. I like this one right here. Beast synergizes so well with Bassett, Iceman, and Korg and Hood. You know, it's quite a trick to drop them. Bishop is a superstar, and his stats run through the roof. And then you're typically playing Darkhawk on turn 4 and dumping your hand on turn 5 and playing Chavez on 6. The Falcon version plays a little bit better, and I had amazing stats with this. I think I played almost 60 games. I think I played about 2 hours with this, and I did net 31 cubes. So 3 ranks in about 2 hours, which is amazing. Now, this deck list right here, I did not get a chance to play. I'm not sure where it originated from, but I saw a lot of other people playing it against me. And yes, Iron Man and Mystique on the final turns is devastating, the amount of power, especially putting out Iron Man on turn 5 and then on turn 6, following up with the Mystique, and then, you know, a 1-drop and then Hit Monkey. My goodness, absolutely insane. This is going to be the first deck that I try tomorrow, and it does have all those cards right there. Like I said, the Hit Monkey package, Bast, Mysterio, Bishop, and Hit Monkey. It's a great 4-card combo. And then lastly, this is a deck list here made up of entirely of Pool 2 cards. So this is a zoo deck. So if you don't have a lot of these cards, because I know a lot of people are not going to have Mysterio and so on, which if you're set on playing Hit Monkey, you know, you might want to pick up Mysterio. But if you don't have any of the cards or have been missing the cards, I believe everybody has these cards right here. And so this is a zoo deck. And again, you want to play as many of them as possible on the final turn. Now, one of the decks that I think is going to go bonkers, and I was playing this deck a lot yesterday, and I think that this will be probably a dominant deck if Hit Monkey goes off and becomes like a superstar. Right here, we've got Sunspot, Ebony Maw, Lizard, Electro, Wave, Shang-Chi, Leech, Sandman, Arrow, Doctor Doom, Odin, and Magneto. This has 3 cards in it that Hit Monkey decks absolutely hate, and that is Wave, Leech, and Sandman. And this deck right here is a hard counter to most of the Hit Monkey decks, and several people saw me playing this yesterday, and then now they're playing it today, and they're telling me that it is working amazingly. And then also, I'm starting to see Galactus decks also running Leech, you know, in addition to Wave to shut down the Hit Monkey. Now, we're going to just talk briefly about Shuri. Shuri is still probably the best deck in the game, or one of them. A lot of people are wondering when that is going to be nerfed and if it's going to be nerfed. And we're going to talk about the difference between like a new season starting, an over-the-air adjustment to stats, and a patch. So I remember seeing on Twitter, and I'm paraphrasing, that the change we made to Red Skull in the last patch were smaller than those made to the Thanos archetype, in part because Red Skull could be bounced more easily through number tweaks like Zabu and Sufa were. Since it's been a couple of weeks, is Red Skull now in line for a change? Are all happy with how the card has been playing since the patch? The comment you were referencing was discussing the Shuri deck and why we took a softer approach in addition to its metrics being weaker than Thanos. I'm not happy with the current performance of Shuri Taskmaster deck, and Red Skull is one of the addressable part of the problem in the short term, so stay tuned. So they have the ability over the air to adjust this, let's say, down to a 12. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know what they're going to do, but when they're talking about addressing Taskmaster rather than Shuri. It feels like they really don't want to touch Shuri, like, you know, to change her text ability. So my understanding is that they have the ability to like move the cost and the power up and down, but actual text changes, is my understanding, requires a patch. So like a lot of people have been asking about the series drop, when cards are going to drop and so on. And that's later this month. Necessarily hoping that I'm horribly blonde, but that you actually no changes to balance, QO, or matchmaking with this new season. And then it says, season resets are not synonymous with patches. The latter is when we make most of our dramatic adjustments to the game. We'll have a patch later this month. So it's possible that they could, in the meantime, drop the power level of Red Skull by 1, and then in a couple weeks do more dramatic changes. I don't really know. But when those dramatic changes is when the series drop, and a lot of people have been asking me, you know, should I buy this? Should I buy that? And, you know, should I buy for, you know, should I be spending on Galactus or Thanos or whatever? You know, if it's the best value probably is buying Thanos or Galactus or Kang. I personally like Thanos the best. But if you're thinking about Series 4, keep in mind that sometime between now and the end of the month, Bast, Black Panther, Shuri, Super Skrull, and Valkyrie are the ones that were the longest put into Series 4, so they're the most likely to drop. So it's possible that all 5 of those cards right there, or maybe 3 of those cards, I don't know, I'm just guessing, maybe in the next 2 to 3 weeks will be 1,000 tokens rather than 3,000 tokens. Let me know what you think. Are you enjoying Hitmonkey? I love Hitmonkey. I love him. Like I said, I think he's the best Battle Pass card we've had since Zabu, for sure. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye for now.